GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, pose a great controversy in today's society. Some make the case that there is not enough evidence to support the use of them, or that there is less risk in just buying the organic brands. What these people fail to recognize is that there is plenty of peer-reviewed research indicating minimal risk in GMO usage, and that the benefits are massive. Our goal is to educate the general consumer, while targeting policymakers simultaneously to maximize the impact of our campaign and increase GMO usage. We are pro-GMO with the contingency that continuous research is enforced to work as a regulator while widespread GMO usage increases, monitoring both health and environmental effects.
One thing we aim to address is the negative connotation sometimes associated with GMOs, which is that they are bad for you and bad for the environment. This partially stems from the fact that many individuals believe that all things organic are better for you because they are natural. Many consumers are not aware of the science behind GMOs, only that they would prefer the organic brand if they can afford it, because doing so seems like the safer bet. Another argument against GMO usage is that other nations, including those in the EU, have not adapted them. This fails to recognize that the EU has conducted GMO research that has generally led to positive results, meaning that the decision to not use GMOs is not dependent on evidence.
There have been efforts to broaden the scope of knowledge on GMO usage. For example, Genera, Genetic Engineering Risk Atlas, is an online database home to several thousand peer-reviewed research articles available to the general public on all kinds of GMOs, half of which were performed by individual scientists, minimizing bias. All the user has to do is simply follow the instructions provided by the database to locate solid research on his or her chosen GMO. People are generally very particular in what they put into their bodies, but the problem is that tools such as Genera are not that appealing to the general public, especially since much of the study pool references raw data and is hard to read for those who are not scientists but simply your average consumer. What we want to emphasize is the need for general education in GMO usage targeted towards consumers. One suggestion is an all-inclusive database that is also available to the public, like Genera, but works more as a categorical tool rather than a provider of research studies. The database would include basic information on each GMO on the market, emphasizing which product is generally found in so that consumers can target specific food groups more easily rather than having to search confusing GMO names.
There are already databases that perform a similar task. However, they are difficult to navigate, and often the user has to search through page after page looking for the information they came to the website for. The database we propose will be clean, concise, and efficient for all users. For example, it would have a search engine similar to an internet browser, but specific to GMO foods. Say the user wants to see what GMO is used on corn. The user would type corn into the engine, and the most common GMOs found in corn would pop up as hyperlinks. Each link would lead to the category that the GMO belongs to, which includes the aim of the GMO, experiments performed with results, elements of the parental organism, description of the GMO, description of the release site, and an ecological risk assessment, which predicts potential risks to both human health and the environment. If the consumer wishes to access the original sources of information for the categorizing of each GMO, it will be available as supplemental information but not presented in text form on the page to minimize cluster and confusion.
We encourage policymakers to increase public awareness and participation in the GMO campaign by implementing something similar to this database and increasing public education. We need more appealing learning resources available to consumers so that education is made easy and accessible for all. Through education, we believe more people will learn that GMOs could increase agricultural output, reduce pesticide use on crops, lower the price of food, and decrease the amount of hunger and malnutrition. The point is that science shows minimal risk in using GMOs with plenty to gain, so continuing research and educating consumers about the benefits is the next logical step to take in reducing the stigma surrounding GMOs.